Hey everybody, it's another session of Agents Empowering Agents. I'm Ozzy Ramirez. I'm with the AskOzzy.com real estate team and with EXP Realty. The common theme that keeps coming up lately, what's actually been going on, geez, probably a good decade now, but I'm hearing more and more about it. And it's people always ask, how did you build your team? How do you build a team? Why do you build a team? All these different things. So I wanted to give you basically my three main pointers that I give to anybody about understanding the building of a team. And this is these are fundamentals of the mentality and things like that behind building a team. So I'm gonna hit it real quick. We're gonna knock this out, but I just want to make sure I share these things with you guys. So number one, I would say is that understand this: when a team wins, we blame the players. Blame the players. I use the word blame, but we blame the players. When a team loses, you blame the coach, the leader, you blame the people at the top. So understand that when a team wins, you blame the players. When the team loses, you blame the coach. So it all falls on you. You want to build a team, it's going to fall on you, and you better be prepared for a little bit of a wild ride. Mainly because there is a lot of turnover. If you look at real estate in general, you look at turnover in offices, you look at turnover in teams, you look at turnover at market centers and brokerages, you look at turnover in the industry in general. I believe the number is like 83% of all agents that get in are out in the first 18 months of being in business. So understand that, like, it's a little bit of a bumpy ride. And with that being said, here's my top three things I want you to know about building a team. So number one, to build a team, I would tell you first focus on your why. Like, why do you want to build a team? So many people, they hop in the industry, they see other people do it, and they think, I want to do that. I want to build a group. I want to build a team. And it's fantastic. Nothing wrong with it at all. Here's the issue I find it just naturally happens is you start running into all these roadblocks and brick walls and obstacles, and it becomes a little bit difficult. If your why isn't big enough, you're going to give up and you're going to say, I'm going to go back to being a solo agent or whatever. So what I challenge you to do is find out why. Like, why do you want to build a team? And it better be something built something that's more important than just money or success and fame and all these things or whatever that comes with it. And I'm going to share two stories with you on why I decided to build a team. So I started getting in the business. Honestly, I built my business originally off of like drinking beer with people and hanging out and just networking naturally with people because I love people. And my company, my personal business started to explode. And I ran into my first issue. I was never a very organized person. I still am not very, if you look at my desk, it's a little bit of a mess. I've never been an extremely organized person. So with that, I wasn't the right person to organize myself, and I found out the hard way. I had a buddy, his name is Corey, really good friend of mine here locally in the Houston, Texas area. I'd known him since we were like in middle school. We met at church camp, great guy. And as I got in the business, he was referring me people. And there was a time when he had actually referred me a couple people. And because I was so unorganized and I didn't manage my business properly, I didn't have the right people, place, anything like it was me and a notepad basically is what it was. And I had written down all the leads. It was probably like a month after he had given me a couple leads. He gave me two leads of different people who want to buy or sell real estate. And I look at my pad a month later and I'm going back through and I see like, oh my gosh. There's two people Corey gave me and I didn't even call them. Like either I called them and I didn't follow up or whatever. It was bad. Nonetheless, like the pit of my stomach, like I just felt sick. So I had to call my buddy. So I've known him for such a long time. I had to give him a call and say, hey, I screwed up. I didn't, you handed me something very important and I didn't do what I was supposed to with it. And he was like, oh man, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I said, well, did they buy already? And he was like, yeah, both of them are already in contract. One of them already closed. And it just hurt me because one of those guys we had hung out with, I knew the guy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. It was at that point that I realized that I need to start building something different. I need to start building systems in a way that I could service this amount of business I had. And that was a painful place for me to be. Years later, I started growing again. I hired a couple admin and things like that. And I went through this period where my business started growing again. It started going crazy. I got to a point, and I'm going to tell you all a story. Like this story hurts my heart, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you like I did something I never should have done. I'm completely ashamed of it. Well, it's late. I come home probably like 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock at night. I get home and all the lights in their house are on, like everywhere. Like there's people not in rooms, and the lights are all on. And you're tired and you say dumb stuff, and you know, I don't know how it even came up, but I said maybe if y'all turn some lights on around here, off around here, maybe I wouldn't have to work as much. Oh, horrible thing to say. As my wife and I were talking, I said that to her, and I apologized profusely later, and I made up for all those things, but that's not the real kicker. The kicker is, so follow me here, probably like a week, maybe 2 weeks later, I come home, or actually I'm at the office, and I get this call, and my wife says, you need to take this phone call. It's the middle of the day. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, your son wants to talk to you. So I get on the phone, and my son, Zach, I think he was about 6 or 7, he said, Daddy, I turned off all the lights. Will you please come home? And it broke my heart to realize, number one, I said something horrible like that to my wife, and my son was in earshot, and he heard that. And that I worked so much and I wasn't getting home that my kids were feeling it, and they just wanted me to be there. So at that point, I figured, I realized like it was one of those moments. I need something to change. So I've got to build something bigger that allows me the lifestyle I want, allows me to be home with my kids, like all these things, and just not lose it all. Because some people, like the battle for building a bigger business, a bigger life, and all the things, you struggle, and sometimes your home life struggles. And at that point, mine was struggling pretty bad with that happening. So those are the two main reasons that I started building a team, where it became natural for me. Building a team was not natural for me. I never really built a team before, a company, but the reasons why were natural. And I think you got to take a look at that. You got to know your why you're doing it, or things won't work properly. Number two, start with culture. I have a thought process, or what I talk about with culture is, I don't care if you slap $1 million down on my desk and say, hey, hire me, or get into business with me, Ozzy. Here's $1 million. I do not care. I do not need money. That stuff does not excite me. What excites me is growing people and growing something big and bigger than all of us. What excites me is being in business with people that are similar culture to me. So I always ask myself, can I drink a beer and hang out with this person? Is this person that culturally aligns with me and who I am? And if they're not, it doesn't matter. All the money in the world won't work. Getting into business with selfish people is painful. It's painful. Person that only thinks about themselves, doesn't think about other people, that's not a team player, that doesn't want to grow, that doesn't want to pour into other people. It's painful. Don't do it. It's all about culture. The other thing some people do, and I think it's a book, I think it's Good to Great, talks about having this person on on a team, a salesperson that outsells everybody, but the culture's really bad, and they you don't even realize it till they're gone, because they're running people off. And then the book, I think it's Good to Great. It could be another book. I could be completely wrong. But it's a book that I read where they get rid of the bad culture person. Even though they're closing more than everybody, they get rid of them. And everybody else begins to lift up, and they begin to hire better people and a better culture. And combined, this office grows exponentially, like 2, 3, 4, 5 times more than it did when they had the amazing salesperson on the team, because culture is everything. Culture can be stifling. Culture can absolutely put a lid on what you accomplish in your business. But when your culture is strong, it becomes exponential. It begins to grow. People are pouring into each other. There's a synergy. There's a growth that comes with being in business with the right people. So make sure you're hiring for culture first. You could teach people skills. You can teach people skills all day, right? You can teach people how to sell. You can teach people business mentality, but you can't change someone's heart. So stop trying to do that. It's nearly impossible, okay? The other one is, be very careful who you're spending your energy with. So there are certain people that you're going to bring in the world. They may be nice people and they may be a cultural fit, but they're just not the type of person that's going to take your energy and exponentialize it. And what I mean by that is, when you give them something, are they growing? Right? Are they learning? Are they taking it to the next level? Are they taking what you're giving them, your energy, and are they exponentially pushing it out there? Are they creating new systems? Are they bringing on new people? Are they taking the energy and making it overflow and handing it out to everybody else? Because there's nothing more painful than getting business with somebody where you were trying to coach and train and lead and motivate them, and it's like they just take your energy and they ball it up and throw it in the trash. Complete waste. You've only got so much battery in you every day, so much energy in you every day. Give it to the wrong people, guess who suffers? The good people that you should be giving the energy to become exponential, and your family starts to suffer because you go home with no energy. You're drained. You start saying crazy things like, turn off the lights and I can come home. So those are the three main things I can tell you about, guys. No, make sure your why is in order before you want to build a team, because it's hard. If your why isn't lined up, you're not going to move very far or very fast. Start with culture. Get into business with people that are right culture to be in business with you, right? And then make sure you're not getting in business with any of your energy wasters. They're going to take your energy and just trash it. Don't do that. So those are the three biggest things that I can teach you guys. Let me look through my notes here. That's about it, guys. So the last saying, just real quick, is the best way to get out of business with talented people is hire non-talented people. Think about that. The best way to get out of business with talented people is hire non-talented people. Non-talented people, energy wasters, bad culture. They'll drive off great people. They'll drive off talented people. They'll drive off people of culture and people with amazing energy. So understand that, guys. I hope this helped you in some way. If I can take all the lessons I've learned by being in business 16 years and making a ridiculous amount of mistakes, and I could package them and I can hand them to you, so it doesn't take you 16 years to build an empire. It doesn't take you 10, 20 years to do what I did. If you can truncate that, and you can take the things that I can help you to learn from my mistakes, and kind of shorten the amount of time it takes you to get to success or the life that you really want to live, no matter what it is. That's what I'm here for. I hope this helped you guys. Love you guys. Want to keep on lifting you up. Again, it's me. It's Ozzy Ramirez with Agents Empowering Agents. I run the AskOzzy.com real estate team here out of Houston, Texas. We're with EXP. If there's anything I can help you with, give me a shout. Have an amazing day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.